Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. Real Madrid are favorites to win a third consecutive Champions League. But with that being said, who will be in their starting lineup? Asensio and Vasquez have emerged as talents that should be playing in their starting lineup. But what about Isco? He hasn't really featured much. And Gareth Bale is back to fitness. Does he deserve another chance? Who would you go with? Bale, Vasquez, Asensio, Isco. So many questions. They need to be answered. But don't worry, here at the interviews, we've got you covered. So on this edition of your interviews, we're going to break down Real Madrid's best starting 11. So all eyes are on Real Madrid, with them looking to win their third consecutive Champions League. But is that enough for a club of that stature? Real Madrid possibly gonna be marked as one of the best teams of all time, or having one of the best stretches of a team in this era based on what they've done in the Champions League. But when you look at their league performances, when you look at where they've placed, it hasn't been good enough. Since Ronaldo has been there, they've only won 2 La Liga titles, and you have to ask yourself, what's wrong? When we look at the Champions League this season, and we could get into that, and we possibly will, to see who will they play, but you have to look to next season. You have to start looking at next season, and with Ronaldo's form, you have to assume he's going to be there for one more season. But when you look at Madrid's starting lineup, there's one spot that is up for grabs, and no one knows who should play there. You look at their attack, Benzema and Ronaldo are going to start. You look at their midfields, you want to have Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric. You look at their backline, Ramos, Varane, Marcelo, Carvajal, but who is that final piece? Gareth Bale's been out of the squad. Isco's been in and out of the squad. Bale due to injury, Isco because, well, we really don't know. And the emergence of Lucas Vasquez and Asensio have ensured that they do come into the fold. When you look at Asensio and Vasquez, disciplined players, players that have the ability to become great players. They could cross, they offer a goal threat, and they've been decisive in Madrid's Champions League run against PSG and most recently against Juventus. But when we look at the board, you have to think that that final spot is going up to Isco or Bale. But who do you fit in? How do you fit them in? Well, we look at it right now, Madrid are playing a 4-4-2. It's what is best suited for Ronaldo at this stage of his career, because you want him in the box, his predatory instincts, his ability to hit shots on the first time to ensure that he can score before he has a defender getting to him or before he has to make a move. So we look at it now, you have Benzema, you have Ronaldo. Okay, and what we've seen with this 4-4-2 is that we've had Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, Kroos, and we've had Isco. Sometimes it's even looked like this, if we're going to be honest. More of a 4-3-1-2. Isco given the license to roam, and then you have the 3 in midfield as they should be. With Isco, it's great because he could roam left to right. He could create triangles there. He could create triangles there as well. He could join the attack. He's one of their most incisive passers around the penalty box area, so he could find Benzema, he could find Ronaldo. Isco is the whole package, and when they play against teams that are very good in midfield, like a PSG, like, let's say, a Bayern Munich, who they face next, Isco could drop in and be that 4th midfielder to ensure that they dominate the play in central areas and aren't overloaded. That is pivotal, that is key. And when we look at even this past weekend, when they went to Malaga, they didn't play with their starting lineup, but it was Isco again in a 4-3-3 that really operated from midfield, picking up the balls in deeper areas, driving forward to link play. He scored the free kick. You look at the goal that they score to ice the game. It's him making the run. He starts in this position, makes the run there. Benzema gets it, checks it back into him. Casemiro makes his run in. It's Isco who taps it in unselfishly. When you think about Isco, he ticks all the boxes for an additional midfielder. Doesn't have the tempo setting skills that Kroos or Modric does have, but he's able to float around the lines, retain possession, pass and move, find spaces. He can score goals, and he's able to link play. That is pivotal. With this formation, it's what helped them win last year. It changed the game in the Champions League, and it brought them to another level that ensured that they were the first team in this era to repeat or to defend successfully their Champions League title. So you look at that and you have to feel, why not Isco? Without the ball, they drop into more of a 4-4-2. Isco's able to defend from out wide, or he's able to shift Kroos over and defend through the midfield and have Modric push out. They're disciplined. They're hard to break down. Isco offers something different. But you can't question Gareth Bale's talent. He's been out all this season, and primarily they switched to that formation partially because Bale has been out. With Bale, you have to think that the 4-4-2 is not going to work because you have Bale, you have Benzema, you have Ronaldo, you push Bale out wide. Bale can play this role. If they drop deep, he can mark and protect his fullback. He used to be a fullback as it is, so he has that defensive aspect to his game. But from the right side of the pitch, you kind of don't want him just drifting in from there or delivering crosses from the right. That is not what Gareth Bale is all about. Yes, you can have him on the left as well and possibly have Modric out on the right, push Cruz over and have Cruz in central midfield and have Bale attacking from the left. But when you think about Gareth Bale's time and what had Real Madrid set their eyes on him was the fact that Gareth Bale in his final season at Spurs was given a free role. He evolved into a goal scorer, and that's what Real Madrid want from him. That is why 4-3-3 is best for them in that sense. They can play Benzema up front. They can have Ronaldo from one flank. They can have Bale from the other flank. It was key to their first Champions League title win of this era. You feel like they would want to kick on from that. Obviously, a different team in the mold that Ancelotti had them set out in. But when you look at Bale and you look at them this season, the 4-4-2 hasn't really worked out because what has happened is that they've had Ronaldo and Bale play together up front. Can it work? Yes. Has it been working? Not to the way that Real Madrid fans want it to. We look at the games that they have played in the 4-4-2, and you have to look at the best chances that they created in games that they didn't really create many chances. It stemmed from Bale drifting out into this left flank and teeing up Ronaldo. The problem sometimes is that they're both in central positions. They're not that good with their back to goal. They don't really impose themselves with their back to goal to win aerial duels. So Madrid don't really have that opportunity to really link play. It's not like Benzema who drops deep and links play. Benzema who drifts out to space to hold up play and allow Ronaldo to find spaces in the box. That is the problem. And sometimes Real Madrid have both of them drifting out wide. And then who's going to be in the box to get onto those crosses? What we've seen from them is that when we look at their game against, per se, Eibar, it's Marcelo constantly flipping balls into that channel. He created, and then Bale runs onto it. He created two chances for Ronaldo in that sense. One that Ronaldo should have scored, one that he didn't hit. He mishit it, and that was pivotal. But you can see that that is what they want from Bale. You look at their game against Las Palmas. Obviously, they played more of a 4-4-2 then, and it was Bale and Benzema up front, and that's where we saw more of a true, legitimate combination. When Benzema drifted out wide, Bale stayed to the tip, right at the center of the pitch, looking to play out the last man. He is good in the air. He could win aerial duels in the box and score goals with his head. That was an option. But we saw again, there's a combination with Marcelo that when teams play a bit higher and push their defensive lines forward, Bale likes to play out the last man and he could breach it, and that was pivotal to what they did. He set up Asensio for an opportunity there. His goal was created through that aspect. Long ball over the top. Bale runs off the last man. They can't keep up with his pace. He forces teams to defend back, and if they stay high, he offers that counter-attacking threat, and he's a threat in the box. Like I said, he could score goals. Then you look at the Madrid derby. Not too many created chances for Madrid there again, but who did create the better chances for Madrid? It was Bale. In that 3 to 10 minute span, drifting out behind Juan Fran, getting onto the ball, he created Ronaldo's goal. He created two more chances that should have led to goals. And you have to think about it, that when this guy is fit, how do you leave him out of the squad? But how do you integrate him? And how do you put him and Isco in the same team and make it work? They obviously played together in that Eibar game, but it wasn't cutting the deal. And then when you look at it, who is their best starting lineup? Who is going to get sacrificed? And who do you go with? Is it Bale? Do you go with Isco's ability to kind of overload the midfield and ensure that Real Madrid set the tempo of the game and rely on that creativity to create Ronaldo chances? Do you go with Bale, counter-attacking threat, pace him behind, can set up Ronaldo and can score goals? Or do you leave both of them out, or maybe put one in and leave both of them out and trust Vasquez and Asensio? A lot of questions to ask. This will be a pivotal talking point heading into Real Madrid's semi-final clash with Bayern Munich and potentially the Champions League final, and it will be a question going into next season whether Bale or Isco will be there, and if they are, can they get those two in the starting lineup to mount a proper league title challenge? But let me know what you guys think. Meet me in the comments below. Don't forget I upload videos every day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that was your daily dose of the interviews.